Hey, hi, hello, Psychotic here. Today we'll be doing a little bit of a shorter, different video, strictly because when I post this video, it'll be probably a few hours before the next PoE 2 league. So, instead of making a normal PoE 1 video, or just playing PoE 2 and then posting it a day after the league has started, which I would feel would be very counterintuitive, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make this video and discuss the possibility of the first build I am going to go with in PoE 2. So as a lot of you may know, we're getting a lot of changes in 0.3, you know, from starting with the interludes, which are essentially replacing the cruel difficulty and replaying through Acts 1, 2, and 3. We're getting Act 4, we're getting the Abyssal League, and we're getting unlimited supports, which is one of the most things I'm excited for. And there are a few things in there that excite me as well in terms of some things I personally wanted. One of them was Poison getting a buff, although it's indirect, strictly through to the support gem rework, which was not what I was expecting. That's essentially a huge buff for Poison because of the way Poison works and how you want to upkeep Poison with the chance to poison supports and all of that. And the other thing is that they have removed the animation from Toxic Growth. Now, if you don't know, Toxic Growth was a skill. We essentially did a jumping attack and you shot down these like toxic pustules that you then charged up with poison, and they exploded and they dealt AoE damage wherever you exploded them. The only issue with that skill was that the Toxic Growth skill was stuck behind a certain amount of attack speed, action speed, and the animation. There was no way for you to circumvent or remove or skip that animation. So every time you did that skill, whether it's a boss, whether it's in the middle of a pack of mobs, they can hit you. Even when you're in the middle of the air doing the animation, you can get stunned out of it, you can get hit out of it. So essentially, once you did that skill, if there was anything that was remotely close to attacking you, or perhaps a slam or a projectile coming your way, it's gonna hit you. And it was just horrible to use, and it felt like a complete fucking waste of time, because the risk that you would run using that skill and just dying in the middle of it was too high. Of course, I also want to test out some things with the new poison stuff. I really want to try and see if I can make Acidic Concoction work with my build, see if it can be like sort of a bow concoction build, as weird as that is, because essentially the new concoction, Acidic Concoction, triggers poison, it consumes poison. So I'm guessing the way it works is you poison a bunch of enemies or a boss, you get the stacks, and you throw the acidic concoction at it, and it will deal essentially a buffed version of the damage that are on each individual poison stack. So basically, the higher damage you do on your poison, the higher the damage on the acidic concoction will be when it pops the poison stacks. Now, of course, there are some other good things, because obviously I'll be running Pathfinder to try this. There's some other good things on Pathfinder. It's been essentially buffed all around, aside from the concoction. Some of them look good, some of them look eh. The Sustainable Practices node has essentially been buffed in terms of evasion rating, and now it gives you elemental damage reduction, which is huge, especially for evasion. And with the new deflect mechanic, that's essentially 3 layers of defense right there on that ascendancy by themselves, because if you manage to get deflection, you take this passive node and you have the evasion rating to back it up, you'll essentially get free elemental damage reduction with it, which is pretty good for survivability. Now, with that said, I have been toying around with this a little bit. Unfortunately, it's not updated, so I was going to try and theory craft a little bit my build, but since we don't have the new skill tree, which is, by the way, by the looks of it, fucking gigantic. They added a lot of things. I don't know if they've added anything to Poison, but there's 150 new passive skill slots, essentially, to go around here. So, technically, theoretically, right, you'd go down this route. I only chose attack speed as a late game thing. I would probably go projectile speed in the beginning, strictly to increase the poison damage so we can get through bosses and mobs faster. Because, again, Poison, the way Poison works in PoE 2 is it's the initial hit that matters, so it doesn't matter how many times you hit, because there's a you're heavily limited on poison stacks, especially in the beginning when you don't have the early nodes and the ascendancy. So essentially, yeah, get proj damage instead of attack speed here, and then yeah, you'll go down here, you'll get the more proj damage. This is elemental ailment, so it's not worth getting. We'll get dex or whatever we'll need at that point. Yeah, essentially, we'll get the first poison node. You can go up here and get evasion. We'll probably go up here as well, actually. Why the flying... So we do that, and then we'll go down here. I just did that again. And then, yeah, we'll probably get the quiver one. I don't know if I'll get this early, truth be told. This was nerfed, although it's still very good. Chance to inflict ailments, that's always good. Projectile stun build-up. I'll probably won't get this, because, yeah, we just want to inflict poison. If we can sort of find a way to reliably... stack projectile stun, then maybe. We'll keep going down here. There's another poison node here. That is quite important because it's, yeah, it's +1 to the stacks, which you need. Then you have the duration, poison chance. Whether we take these two or not will depend. I'll have to do some more testing in game to see how it feels. And then, unless they buff poison, the way it works, or how many stacks we get, or how long it gets stacks, or damage in general, we may go crit again, because again, the initial hit is what matters for poison. So if you crit a hit, you're gonna do... if you can reliably crit, you can do just a very good amount of dot with your poison. We'll probably do this as well. Arrows pierce an additional target. I'm not sure if I'd get that, strictly because I don't care about piercing. We want things to AoE on packs. And I'm pretty sure... I can't remember if you pierce through the target if it procs AoE. I think it's just the last explosion when the projectile essentially just expires or hits on the last time. This, on the other hand, projectile speed will probably be important. Accuracy rating as well. Although accuracy rating, it's... Again, I'll have to test it out, because I think they said they did something to accuracy. But I can't remember what off the top of my head. But yeah, it's the usual stuff, really. It's... You try and find the poison nodes. I'm only putting Dex because whatever. It's like I'm not actually like fully committing to theory crafting this. I'm just making an example. This one right here is very important because this essentially a poison duration increase, and then you have the stack increase on poison as well. And with the Pathfinder, if I can find her. Here she is. It's this one. You have the... Where is it? Oh, look. I actually added this. But... So wait, does that mean acidic concoction is here? No, it's poisonous concoction still, okay. But yeah, essentially with this, you have, yeah, double the number of poison that targets can be affected at by the same time. So essentially, but yeah, essentially you get this to double the stack of poisons. I think you can get to a maximum of, what was this? 15, I think? I think that's what it was. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And essentially then, yeah, you can just go... you go crits, you can go up here essentially. This is what I did last league. The only problem with last league, and the only reason I fucking hated my build last league, is because the mana consumption was so ridiculous that you genuinely could not upkeep the poison. You just couldn't. Like, the damage was good for as long as you managed to upkeep it, but because the mana cost was so ridiculous, it was literally fucking impossible. I really hope that when they say they reduce the attribute requirements and the mana requirements, they mean it. Because if I'm going to find myself in a situation where Thief's Trinket itself can't upkeep my mana, I'm going to be a salty motherfucker. Because if I find myself in the same exact situation where it's like, I cast one attack, and yeah, you're just fucked, you just can't do anything, I'm going to be very upset. I really hope that... it's not the case anymore. But yeah, when it comes to like projectiles and stuff and bows, projectile. Yeah, so there's this one here. Yeah, it's usually the same. So far it looks the same. So I'm guessing it hasn't been fully updated or whatever. But yeah, I'll be running a poison build. What poison skill I'll use, I'm not entirely sure yet. But I'll probably be running... I'll be testing stuff out because again, we can basically poison any attack now. So I'll probably be trying Rain of Arrows again. I'll have Poison Burst normally. I'll try and make a Toxic Growth build. That's like my first main thing. I really want to see if I can make Toxic Growth work as either like a main or secondary skill, like a burst skill. And yeah, I want to see how it feels before I overly commit to anything. I'll probably will still try and get it to maps, unless it's like it feels like warrior kind of dog shit. But yeah, we'll have to see. I'm very excited for 0.3, naturally, as everyone else is. And I can't fucking wait to see... Apparently, Deadeye is the most broken thing, because I've seen literally so many streamers and so many people just say, yeah, Deadeye is just busted again. Deadeye has always been busted in pretty much every single fucking league. It's been top played in pretty much every single league now, / update. Not surprising. I mean, even in PoE 1, Deadeye is pretty good. But with that said, yeah, this has been a shorter video than usual, I think. Maybe. I've been blabbering for long, but I'll release this probably a few hours before the new league comes out. And yeah, I'll be theory crafting and testing my shit in game. And I'll see you all in the next update. I love you all. Take care. Peace out.